All right, I'm Red Beard the Hippy here with Drawol, based out of Kentucky, Lexington, Kentucky? Louisville.
Yeah, Louisville and New Albany, right on the line right there.
And he is in Grand Island, Nebraska on the 420 show.
Yes, sir. You know, Stoners in El Fuego.
So what brought you up this way?
Well, so Yurdy G is a big music sensation out of St. Louis. I've got family in St. Louis. He came down to Louisville, and he was like, let's do a show. And I was like, give me a call. A couple weeks later, after we did our show, he calls me and he's like, you want to come out and headline with me? And I'm like, yeah, I would love to. Where am I coming to, though? Because I know you're all over the place. He's like, hole in the wall, man. Come to Grand Island with me. And I was like, I know this place. I'm down. Let's go. That's in Nebraska, right? He's like, yeah. And I was like, I got Omaha fan. Let's do it. So I'm out here. And lo and behold, didn't even know it was going to happen. I got some Omaha fan that's actually on the card. Dread Strange is an Omaha native. And
yeah.
They are like, I've known A.G. Strange for fucking 3-4 years now. So, I don't know. I came out here on a move by a friend, like you said. You know what I mean? Music circulates.
Oh, yeah. And you start getting connections with people, and they start hooking you up in different areas.
And you never know. Like, your connection you make on a Tuesday on 1 year could be something big in 2 years on a Wednesday.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
You never know how it's going to work. Just know that every connection is positive, and it will work somewhere.
Yeah, because it might get you into a show 6 months from now.
Right.
But there's also that thing, too, where... You know, they'll get you on this show. Well, you got to throw one, out of common courtesy and respect of doing the stuff.
Exactly.
It's like, hey, dude, I got a show here. You want to? Nah, man, I can't. I've already booked that day. You got anything around this time? Yes, I do. You want on it? You're
you're in. You make it work. You want to make that work for people. Because they scratch your back. They're going to expect something back, but it's the people that don't want to expect it immediately.
Yeah.
They are okay with the fact that stuff has to be blossomed. It has to grow.
It may take some time to get it.
It may take some time, yes. Impatience is a big thing. If you can get past being impatient in the music game, it's fun.
Well, because everybody's got, like, not every person, this is the only thing that they do.
Oh, exactly.
Like, you got family and kids and...
jobs, real life, there's stress, there's real shit going on. This is just fun. Y'all think it's fun. It's not really fun. It's a job, but, you know.
There's a lot of time driving on it and being out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. I mean, you do music to learn areas, get lost, and live in the moment. Like, it's all about the experience, man.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's totally... thrilling. I don't know. I feel like if you want an adrenaline rush, you want to just have fun, even if you don't know what you're doing. Book a couple of shows that are not anywhere near you and just try to get there and see what happens.
Or just find a couple shows that aren't in your said wheelhouse of music taste, because you never know what you're going to find at those. Because, like, I usually predominantly cover, like, hard rock, heavy metal.
Okay.
And...
So what made you come... Like, I know you're supposed to be interviewing me, but what made you come to do a hip-hop show?
Well, like, I went to it was Ritz, Gmo Ski, Noble Poets, 308 Boys, and Jace Rain.
Okay.
Were in Kearney, and I ran into Upset, and he's... likes the amount of promotion that I do and has been inviting me to shows, so it's one of those, it's close to where I live, I don't have to really travel very far, and it's out of my normal wheelhouse, so
it might be a benefit for you.
Yeah, well, and it's nice to find, like, you can only listen to so much rap before you've got to have something that you've got to listen to different to kind of get you out of that, where it starts sounding all the same.
Yes.
So it's like you'll throw on some like R&B or some.
You got tunnel vision, like straight to that sound type of thing. I got you.
Oh, okay. It's another rock band. Haven't seen them before, but okay, whatever.
They sound a lot like this one that I just heard yesterday. Okay, though, I got you.
But then you got to break up the monotony of everything. And, But then if you also pigeonhole yourself into something and only listen to that style, you're gonna miss out on.
The openings and everything else.
A different technique where you're like, ooh, I didn't think about that wordplay, or I didn't think about putting
These sounds are different. I think that music does good when you talk about, I'll hear like, damn, they got a flute in there, but they jazzed the flute up, and then they put some hard drums on the back. Now you got a sick rap beat that just came out of nowhere.
Exactly.
And the instruments you would never expect that would make a rap beat. And I'm just like, that's what you do. You got to find people that really go out of those normal things. Jump into a different pool, as you would say.
Plus, like, every style of music can be switched into another style of music.
Right.
Like, for instance, rap metal, where it's you get the rapper, and it has to be done a certain way and done. In my opinion, it has to be done a certain way to sound right.
Right.
And like the way that they break up their lyrical pattern.
Right.
Or
I'm into Ghostman. Okay. Now that is rock screamo rap.
Yeah.
I mean, like, he literally had made a whole new genre of music at that point, like, and he's excelling in it.
Yeah.
And that he's able to go back and be versatile with his bilingualness, you know what I'm saying? I like that.
Yeah.
I like that too. And so is Suicide Boys. I'm a big fan of the Suicide Boys.
Oh, yeah.
But their music's not my mesh genre.
Cup of tea?
No, it's not that. It's not that.
Oh,
it
okay.
I listen to him, but people are like, "You sound like him. You should do a song with him. You should try to get on a show." I don't think so. Like, I don't think my music and what they're doing is ever going to actually coincide. But I feel like we could write something together.
Yeah.
But I don't think that anytime you would ever put a storytelling, lyrical, fast spitter with the Suicide Boys. They are lane changers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In this new wave that's going on right now. You know what I mean? And I've been rocking with the Suicide Boys 3-4 years now, but like they've been getting major cred in the last 2 years.
But you also don't want to like have the same where people know what their sound is and what your sound is and put it together, because it might not mesh well for that song.
Right.
But you want to sound like or like having the show have all the same style of artists. Like, we'll just go West Coast rappers.
Right.
Where like they all sound different, but after a certain point of
they all sound the same.
Time, you're just gonna
real quick.
You're gonna be like, okay, is this WC or is this Cube or is this Dre? Like, what? All of it sounding the same to me after this.
Yep.
Like, not saying that it all sounds the same, but
the style.
After a certain amount of time listening to it, you're just like,
the style, the cadence, it's all got that flow, because you know where a rapper is from. Listen to the cadence, listen to the structure, listen to the wordplay, listen to the bars. Like,
listen to the story as well.
Exactly. I can tell a New York rapper from a Philly rapper from a West Coast rapper. They talk about different things.
Exactly.
You're gonna get that party life on that West Coast. You know what I mean? The bottles, the money, the drugs, all that good stuff that you're gonna be able to be jazzed up about. You're gonna hear it on the West Coast. But it's not that you're not gonna hear that stuff in Philly and other places. But their stories are gonna be different.
Yeah.
What they're doing is different. They're gonna talk about different things that relate to their areas. But you can always hear their drawl. You can always hear the accent. You can always hear their cadence, their slang terms, and be like, I know where you're from. I'm gonna peep you out because I know somebody who sounds like you because somebody already got famous in that area.
Yeah.
And that's the crazy part, though. As much as nobody wants to sound like the next dude, you want to be your own lane. You want to sound like the next dude.
Exactly.
Because you got to be able to get into the door, and he got in.
Well, and you gotta sound a certain way for a certain amount of time, but still also stay true.
Stay original. You have to stay authentic to yourself, but you got to be able to kind of dabble every now and then because you can't keep going with them.
Like,
or with the way of the flow of motion.
You can't pigeonhole yourself into one style or one sound. You got to be able to be versatile and be like, okay, they want me to jump on this rock show.
Yeah.
Like, okay, cool. And then you're gonna have the metalheads or the rocker guys there that are like, I'm digging this.
This is different. Yeah.
Like, it breaks
that
up.
right there. That is the golden word you want to hear at a show. You want to go somewhere where you don't expect to get any love and hear one person be like, that was different. You damn skippy. You now remembered it.
Exactly.
That is ingrained because it was fucking different.
Oh, yeah.
Different is the greatest word in like, you know how people are like, you have potential. I love when people say I have potential because they're probably telling the same dude that was next to me that he didn't have not a thing to.
Hey man,
sit on.
I liked your set. It sounded good.
Yeah, I don't want that. That's one of those, bro.
That's a pat on the back.
I don't want one of those. I
want it, but I don't. Like, I want somebody to go, hey, I liked what you were doing.
Right.
Versus like, dude, that third song you spit when you went da-da-da-ba-da-da-ba-da-da-ba-ba.
Exactly.
That was fucking dope.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, okay, I know where I'm at on that.
Exactly. And you're like, but I like when you find lyrics that resonate with certain people, or you find. I have a song that I used to do about 4 years ago called Addiction. It was a lot of people started dying in my life, friends, old friends. The epidemic of the drugs really hit my area pretty strong. So I wrote a song about addiction, and I've never really been addicted to anything. Definitely have dabbled in some things, but I've never been addicted to stuff. My addiction is a crave, but that's all addiction is to me. So my addiction, I made a song. So I did this song a few times, and I'm in India, and this kid comes up to me and he says, you don't know me, but I've listened to this song on repeat for 2 months. And I was like, it's only been out for 2 months. He said, yeah, I found it the day it came out, and I've played it every day. You're helping me cope with my mom. And I said, okay, I appreciate you. Can I ask what you mean? He was like, yeah, she's an addict, and she's a piece of shit, and she's left me. And I know now that I'm strong enough through this song that it's her fault, not mine.
Dude, that's awesome.
Dude, it changed my whole life. Like, I'm talking chills up my spine, goosebumps from hell, dude. Like, it was ridiculous that I touched somebody to a point that you actually pulled me off a stage to want to tell me that I changed you. And I'm just like...
That's the power of music. Like, you just telling me this story, like, as you're saying it, I got the goosebumps as well. It's just like, that's powerful.
Dude, it was amazing. And that's truly why I do music. And then I started doing music to be for that relatability. And after that, I just was like, all right, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make music for the people. So it's always I'm in the shit, you're in the shit, or I know somebody that's doing the shit. I'm gonna write about it.
Yeah.
Because now I'm gonna help somebody. Because somebody's got to be going through one of those three things.
Oh yeah.
So it becomes relatable to everybody and anybody. Or I like when children get with my music. Catchy bars, the cadence, the bop to them. Kids are going to be the wave that you have to tap in. If you get the younger generation to bop you, you're gold, because they are going to run with your name forever.
Oh yeah.
You think about getting the kids your age right now, or the grown people that you want to listen to, they're going to get old just like you.
Yeah.
They're going to stop listening to your music. Who's not going to stop listening to your music? The people who can't listen to it right now aren't going to stop listening to your music. They're going to grow into listening to it more. So I always try to go for the younger. And then you got to watch what you talk about in your song. You got to start being more inspirational. You got to start being more...
Because everybody can do this or do that, but it's like... I know for me personally, like what you're saying, where you're wanting relatable stuff.
Yeah.
Like if I'm listening to a track and I can relate to it, I'm gonna repeat it.
Right.
But if it's like, oh, this chick sucked my dick, like, I don't care.
Right.
Like, I got laid. Congratulations.
Thank
Good
you
job.
You could have told me something else.
And like, you wrote 87 songs about getting laid. Awesome.
Right.
Hopefully it's by different people, or your old lady's gonna be really pissed that that's the only subject content you got.
Now, I like the fact that, like, when you make something and you authenticate it to you, it's so hard for anybody to ever break that. If you stand on what you've made, it's no... There's no way somebody can be like, it's not good. Why is it not good? You didn't even write the shit. Like, it's,
yeah.
Like,
you didn't write the beat. You didn't spin the...
You didn't spend the hours that it took to formulate this and make this storyline come to a visual aid. And that's what I believe when you talked about relatability. You said, if I can relate to the song, it's going to make me, and then you came up with something. It literally makes you want to tell somebody about it. Just because you're like, damn, I went through this. He coped way different than I did. I gotta tell somebody else this. This is bullshit. You know, like, or he did not do what I did. Like, why did he do this? I gotta tell them this because I did it way better. either way, vice versa.
Yeah.
I'm thinking to the point of relatability as like that is going to be my golden ticket out. I don't have a deep voice. I don't necessarily have a whole image. I don't have the everything. I don't have the drug money. I don't have the fanciness. But I have relatability. I have passion. And I have authentic. And I got a story. So I put all four things together, and I birth whatever has been taking me for the last 4 years, basically. And if it ain't broke, I'm not fixing it, is what I've always been told.
Exactly. You can tweak it a little bit,
Right.
make a little thing different here and there, but yeah.
You can mend it and fix it and bandage it up, but it's working, work it.
But when they start sounding the same is when you got to change it some.
You got to alter. You've got to keep going with the times.
Well, you don't want the same sounding beat.
Yeah.
Like I've heard artists that have been around for I think they're like 30 years or so, early 90s, and they're still putting out an album every year. And
Okay.
I'm not going to use names because I don't feel that that's always appropriate. But there was one time I heard one of their songs, and I start rapping along to it, and until I started kind of like, wait a minute. And I started listening, and I was like, that's the same lyric pattern, that's the same word pattern, like, everything is the same, and it is not the same, like...
Oh, so they copy and paste old lyrics, changed them out?
Yeah, and it was just one of those ones where I was just like, oh, this is not good.
Yes,
But yeah, it kind of baffled me, but it's like, at some point in time, you're going to run out of ideas and ways to do things different.
Right.
I mean, some people have that untapped potential where they're always going to be changing and working on their craft, and I think that's the biggest thing that you got to always keep doing is.
And that's where when you stop becoming an artist and you start becoming a legend is when you're able to adapt, change, and continue the same stride as you were 20, 25, 30 years ago.
Or even 5 years ago.
Well, yeah, but even 5 years ago is still a little new because
okay, yeah, 10 or more years.
You need a little tenure to it to where you have some, I don't know, some sensibility. Yeah, you want to have something to where like when you go somewhere, somebody's freaking out because you showed up. Like if you're not having 10,000 people doing that. 5 is still a goal setter. You know what I'm saying? Like, you go to a restaurant in a hole-in-the-wall city, and somebody comes up to you and be like, oh, my God, can I take a picture with you? That right there, you just won. I don't care what you won or what you thought you won, but you won. Because somebody remembered you. Somebody spotted you. Somebody has now put 2 and 2 together, and you're it.
Yeah.
So whatever you were doing is now working. You're no longer a local. You're no longer an artist. You are now steadily participating in setting your own legacy up.
Exactly.
Because you got one down. Now you got millions to go, but that's a
You got one.
Right. But you got to be grateful. You got to be humble to the fact of, like, it's not going to happen overnight, even though everything happens overnight. Now, I know people don't understand what I'm saying. You understand that
enough nights
of hard fucking work, you're gonna wake up and it's gonna fucking make sense.
Exactly.
like, and that's what I'm saying. These rappers really do wake up overnight and have millions of dollars, bro. They've been broke for so long, cause like, let them recoup their money, and they're probably still broke, bro. Like, they've invested their entire life to be right here.
Exactly.
So this money that they're getting up front right now, you think it looks like a lot of money. But it doesn't even put
15 years of hard work, 15 years of gas station food.
Bro, that's not scratching a dent on what they've done. And
sleeping on old boys couch, floor.
Bandos. Where broke as shit, bro.
Gas station parking lot.
I swear. But it's the drive, it's the devotion, and you can see a real artist or a real worker. And if you find one of those people that are together and they're anything, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
If they're devoted and hardworking, that's dangerous.
It is, because there's no stopping them.
No. It really, because their mind is so untappable, like you can't even get in there to fuck shit up.
Well, you can try, but they're just gonna be like, "Yeah, fuck you."
Right.
You're not gonna make this. Okay, whatever.
Yeah, you're right. Are you leaving? Yeah, all right, I'm gonna make it now. Like, you was right. I wasn't gonna make it while you was here. You told me I couldn't do it, but you're leaving, right? Okay, we're good.
Cool, I'm gonna do it now. And then I'm gonna drop it tomorrow, and then I'm gonna tag your ass in it to show you how good this thing is.
And I did it immediately.
And we did it as a fuck you to you.
Shit.
I'd like to thank this person for saying I couldn't do this, so fuck him.
Fucking right. At him, guys. Here's his name. No, for real though. Like, I believe that like everybody has a musical bone in their body.
Oh yeah.
I do believe that people, like, if you don't use something, you lose it.
Yes.
But like if you were a child and you had musical talent, but you never used it, but then you use it as an adult, it may not be the same music talent that you started with, but it'll be something that you could have molded out of it.
It's still there.
It's still there. Like my mom was a singer. I'm not necessarily a singer, but I wasn't really good at school. But I liked rhyming. I liked writing stupid things. Not things that were actual sentences. You would call them fragments.
Yeah.
They never made sense, but they made sense to me. They were strictly something to the point. Sweet. The KISS principle. Keep it simple, stupid.
Exactly.
And that's what bars are to me. I don't need to be metaphorical. I grew to that. But when I started, dude, I was just rapping to make fun of people. It was fun. It was because I used to get picked on. So how do I battle back against getting picked on? I'm going to joke on you.
Exactly.
Because if you got people laughing at me, I feel bad. But if I can turn tides and make them laugh at you, well, now I win.
Exactly.
You have to come back now, or you're going to be feeling like I was just feeling. So now I'm the dude who's going to use rap as a crutch. Rap was my protector, my safe haven. It was the thing that kept me sane through school. But then when I got out of school, I never let it go. Like I told you, if you don't use it, you lose it. But I started using it, and it became...
It molded into what it is now.
Right, but it like fit a piece of my life that I didn't have. It was like, this had to be something I was supposed to do. Why didn't I do it way back then? I don't think I was ready for it back then. When I started using it, it was when it was ready to be on that mature growth pattern.
It was the right time when, like, the phrase "everything happens for a reason."
Exactly.
Like, you couldn't use it then, you weren't ready.
Right.
But now, you're ready.
We're gonna give it to you again. Let's give it to you again.
Let's run.
And I do believe, like, all those phrases that we grew up listening to, old folks telling us, whether it was your parents, old folks at the streets, the park, your teachers, they really aren't lying. I
realized so many of those when I was a kid, where it's like, dude, that was so stupid. Then you listen to it now, and you're like,
fuck,
dude, why wasn't I listening?
Exactly. And it's kind of a point of, like, it's freaky, because, like, you overthink something a half a second too long, you miss an opportunity. That half second really messed up an opportunity.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But that's how split-second-ish stuff can really change, you know what I mean? You can be feeling great. Split second. The world could be over, life could be over, your day could be done.
Yeah.
You got to make the most of what you got when you got it. So I feel like music is the one thing that keeps me not embellished on what's going on in life.
It's your escape.
Yeah, I don't care what's going on out here, because this shit's always going to be here. The same bullshit, the same dumb shit, the same great shit. It's all going to be
things you can and cannot control.
Right. Why focus? I don't focus on things I can't control, because I waste efforts, energy, and time.
And add to your anxiety and stress levels.
I haven't heard one positive thing I said yet. Like, you know, like, I don't want to do that. So, I don't know. I love music, and I think music truly did have a place in saving my life. You know what I mean? You grow up, if you didn't make it in something, you got depressed. You didn't make it into something else, you got even more depressed. Eventually, the weight of the depression will weigh on you enough that you do something stupid. I have not been to the point that I've ever done something stupid, but I have definitely been in dark enough holes that, like, I'm happy to say that
I got out of it.
Music brought me back out, but music's the only way to get back out. And sometimes it worries me what happens when music's not enough.
Yeah.
But then the other half of me's telling me, why could you even say that? You do music. And I'm like, you see, you're right. I sound like a fucking idiot, because if I do music, it'll always be there. So, like I said, I don't know, man. You know, like there's stuff that really sends those shock waves through your chakras and stuff, and make you really feel something, make you really think about something a little deeper. Anybody could say something that makes me think about something that wasn't in the conversation.
Yeah.
How they said it or how it made me feel. I think music's a very unheard of language, and real people that do music like can really speak it and really hear it and can
You
converse.
feel it.
Yeah.
And that's the big thing. Like, when you feel something, it's a whole different emotion than,
Right.
like, okay, I heard this or I saw this. It's like, I felt that.
Right. And that's a true thing though. Like that feeling is so powerful. And I know that you can do it from rock shows. Like I've been to a rock show. I'm not a rock music like connoisseur at all. At all. Man, what these people can do with these face melters, these things are
Oh,
these
yeah.
sounds are crazy. They put them on, put the guitar in their knee and just be doing this with it. And I'm just like,
How?
does your fingers not hurt like that? I know what guitar strings feel like. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that's not great. There's no way that feels good. And they do it. Run them up and down those on the strings. I'm like, ow! Like I know that this doesn't feel good. I've done it.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know. You gotta like you said, broaden your horizons. Give people their flowers. Give people the credit when credit is due. And if you want to do something in life, do it. Because the only person actually stopping you is you.
Exactly.
There's really no reason you can't do anything other than you told yourself you couldn't do it.
I think that's a good place to end the interview with.